Hello, we do developer commentary on the demo for this ROM hack DHF. Title screen, I've had made a castle like that like forever ago. Spire helped collaborated with me on this one. Did a pretty good job. I didn't really know what to do for a title screen, so I just used this for the time being. I figured it'd be fine. That sky. It's actually going to be a bit not less red and more pink later on. Just right now, trying to get it to work with like the palette. I think it was hard to make it pink and look good. Like it would look very pixelated. It still looks a little. If you look down more, it looks a little pixelated towards the end. Yeah, we use Bano. And answer some questions too. So, this is a bar. It's actually 3D modeled everywhere. Because I didn't know how this was going to be at first. But I just used this for the time being for the demo. There was planning to be dialogue here, which there will be. A assortment of drinks and such. Like you see like some shot glasses there. I'm a fan of alcohol if you can't tell. And yeah, so that's what this. We'll go to the village. Ashio Lava made this cutscene here. I just kind of let him do whatever he wanted with it. I wasn't picky about it. Maybe I may have been picky about it, but I think it did a good job. So there's like a pause in the beginning that kind of happens because I had to chop one piece of the cutscene off because you don't start from that exit anymore. So, and since I didn't do it right, it's just like that. So let's talk about Link's design a bit. It's me and Spire talking about Link designs. Originally, I wanted to just use just like a basic Link design, give him a sash. Spire wanted something else, so we kind of just talked about it a lot. And he drew a piece of concept art which looks very similar to this one, except his jacket's purple instead of red. I just made it red because it sticks out very well, and I like the color red too. Purple also looks really nice, though. But whatchamacallit, everyone keeps saying he looks like Dante, which he does, which was never like the original intention, which is kind of funny. Devil May Cry 1 Dante's cool, but the rest of Dante's cringe. I want to talk about the sword. The sword actually got inspired. I made it a while ago for I was just making swords. And I'm like, you know what, this is actually my best looking sword, so I figured I'd use this one for our first sword, and kind of resembles, at least in color, and I guess the shape of the blade too, a little bit of the 3Q galleon sword, which I really loved. Which the sheath actually looks kind of like it too, so it's got that same, it's got a similar color palette to it. And the shield, I wanted to make a black and orange shield. And I want to use the trident because I think the trident looked cool. Ganon used the trident, so Spire ended up polishing the texture. He did a really good job. And I made it in Blender and got it in game. So wooden shield. Yeah, you can see the sheath. If you look at the 3Q galleon sword sheath too, it looks pretty similar to this one. That's kind of similar. This village, Villa Muerti. Muerti means like, I believe it means like dead in Italian. Or Spanish, one of the two. It's like Village of the Dead. Because this actually kind of derived from a place called District of the Dead, which was a different looking area before. So some questions, you guys. Actually, Zell he made this NPC here. I actually kind of based him. I made the first model, then he had to basically remake it because Blender didn't like SketchUp files for custom actors. It was actually based off the Imperial Guards from Morrowind. Specifically their design there. Not in Oblivion or what you might call it, Skyrim. They inspired by anything. Like, this was actually inspired by this town here. I would say it's inspired from like when it's fall around where I live. Just like gates and all these big houses. Sometimes it looks purple out. Oh yeah, these doors, whatchamacallit, there are interiors made. Like, that one does have an interior made. So does that building. I just couldn't get their scenes ready in time for the demo. More like I just didn't want to do it. I was just so drained, so I'm like, screw it. And here's the skeleton house one. Everyone likes this one. Tony called it a brothel. Kind of sucks because, like, I feel like I did see some people miss this NPC, which is definitely my fault because it's so close and no one except me, because I'm the developer, is gonna look up. He says smoothie because I didn't want to rip smooth skin from like Fallout, but like it's definitely like the intention is that he sounds like a ghoul. He's like a ghoul from Fallout, but he's a skeleton king, the Playboy king. Smoothie, smoother, jeez. You have nice skin. Yeah, it kind of explains it. It's kind of a weird way to do that, but weird way how I explained it. I wanted to make this look like a Playboy feel. And Fallout actually had Fallout 3 had the hard beds, so they just made bottles of like alcohol. They kind of look like perfume. Like if you look over here, it looks like perfume. Yeah, I kind of wanted to have like a Playboy feel for this, just because I don't know, that's just what I felt like doing. I felt like it matched the keen there. I felt like it was kind of funny, so I was like, screw it, I'll just do that. I'll go inside this mansion over here. This mansion, this place was actually supposed to be the first town. This is actually this is not the first town planned for the game. Actually, this was just what worked in the pipeline of development. This was actually where you're gonna get your sword. Then the story changed quite a bit, so this ended up just being just a house. Which is a bottle here. You actually collect this as many times as you want to. I couldn't figure out the flag to make it only work once. So I was like, screw it. Yeah, bad freaking. Someone was like, oh, there's collision on this, which yes, so weird. But I didn't want Link to clip through it, but it turns out I think it's just better if he clips through it than fucking doing backflips off of it. Front flips. Oh, shit. So we'll check this. Oh, book, yes. So this is a reference to Dungeon later found in the game. Some of the story. I'm not going to say what it is. This is one of the areas I do not want to hint at. Someone tried to pronounce this like Rykalkus Apextic. They couldn't do it. They actually could do that. This is the funny part. You can actually use the arrow here, which is very funny. Which I did not intend, but I don't think I actually didn't even discover this before, so there's a bunch of features and bugs new to me too. Actually, yeah, I might make this name simpler though, because someone could not like pronounce it for the life of them, so I'm like, maybe that name's just too, it's just too freaking like complicated to say. This, I want to change this. This is garbage. I actually just made that to fill up space. And then all these is because I didn't change variables. Yeah, I just did it to fill up space. And the lighting, like you look at the vertexes, actually, I really rushed. Other than that, yeah, that glitches over here. Other than this room, I kind of rushed the rest of this house. Which looks like crap now. Looks kind of cool, I guess. I might have like NPCs in here later on. Probably will. I want another knight in here like we saw outside. There's actually an attic. Yeah, there's like a hole up there. I want to go closer so y'all can see it. Yeah, up there was actually where you're supposed to get the sword originally, but shit changed. So yeah, you don't get the sword there anymore. Oh, I'll come back here with the hook shot. I'll show you all something neat with that. Oh, yeah, I'll go to the shop. Oh yeah, this was actually the original exit you were supposed to enter in from the town. I think it looks like a bad exit though, because it's not that well. Other than the big orange tower right here, it's not well that like if you look at the Candlelight Woods, there's a gate in the way. There's a gallows there. It's supposed to be the gate that gives it like this is an exit. Usually you want something big like that for exits. Otherwise, people are gonna think it's just walls. We'll go to P4 later. Go to the shop here. Shop's kind of cool. This, I like the Majora's Mask, how it like had items back there. Actually, there's a sword right there. It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Jeez. I'm really the developer of these things. Sometimes you ignore this stuff, but that's why you have people play it or you play it again. Fresh set of eyes. Yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff right there. I do want to add bombs back there later, like in the shop. I just did this because this had the wooden shield without editing the shops too much. This had a wooden shield in it, so I could put the tribunal shield to be viable here in case you lose it. Oh yeah, Link has no animations for his face. He's just kind of always a little angry. But he will have more later. He won't just be a freaking pissed off person all the time. Okay, we're just gonna go with the Candlelight Woods now. I actually want to answer a question from the comments. Go to it. Okay, I'll answer a question from Sixon. How long is DHF going to be in terms of gameplay? There's a bunch of dungeons planned. Mini dungeon, bonus stuff that's optional. So I don't want to give like, you know, it's as long as OOT, it's as long as MM. It's probably a little bit less than OOTs because of minigames and stuff. So I'll do another. I'll just go back in here so I can focus. Eli asked another dev question. When can we expect a full release or second demo, if any? Full release when it's done. Second demo when that's done. Basically, when the second dungeon gets done, the areas around it. Because what I want to do is I want to tile these areas together so you can actually backtrack to parts of the demos to older demo areas. So that way the world's still coherent. And not like you just go. You can like, you know, be trapped in that one little area of the world at a time. I feel like people like just running around these games. Especially since it's like nostalgia is a big part of it, so. Third question. French Orange. Will all the bosses be reused from standard OOT, or will you try your hand to make custom models for some of them? Time will tell for that one, so that one I can't give you a straight answer. It's a big maybe. Most likely reskinned OOT bosses. That's worst case, best case, custom bosses everywhere. So this is Candlelight Woods. Originally I always had so many issues with these, like if stuff changes where it should have been. Like the entrance should have actually been over there. And that house is actually like over here, but then when we were raging the world, it ended up coming to this, which I think it's okay how this looks. Stupid wolf. Oh yeah, I need to get this crap out. Killing Edge is a temp name. It just looks like a Killing Edge from fucking Fire Emblem, so I was like, alright, he's dead. You can actually see, it's kind of annoying. Changing, if I want to change every deck unit to Blight and every deck you stick to Blight, I have to change like every reference to it. So that's gonna be a thing that you do. This model, me and Spire started. He made the majority of the model. I added the eye on top of it because I thought it looked cool, and then I got it in game. It was actually really easy to do. What I actually ended up doing was replacing the textures of the stick and the little leaves at the bottom there, and just kind of added the head as its display list. And there's this place which has an interior semi-built but not done, so I just left it out. I would have loved to have had all these interiors ready for the demo. It would have been so good, but oh well. Oh, actually, I want to talk about the aesthetic of this place. What actually really inspired this aesthetic here is Royal Valley from Minish Cap. Actually really looks like dead and drained like this. The gates were my own little personal touch, and then like the layout in terms of like gameplay, that was actually inspired from Lost Woods, or no, Sacred Forest Meadow. So I really liked. I always liked that place. Damn it! Come on. Yeah, Sacred Forest Meadow. So you actually, you'll kind of feel like some resemblances to it. At least I think you did. Then the gates were kind of just like, you go off it, you can explore, get some rupees. Now we go to the fairy fountain, so I want to talk about something there. Thanks for letting me speed boost. So, if you look at the Black Moor font, that was back in old third class that did that. I always liked that, so I ended up doing it here. Old Third Quest was a big inspiration for this. I say Old Third Quest because Third Quest looks different now. If you've seen the images they posted on their, I think back at the old forum. They're in the Discord now for Eileen Money, but it looks so much different now. Not in a bad way necessarily. It's just different. But yeah, old 3Q was like, I loved it. I still do love it. I play that demo sometimes. Even though the gameplay was mediocre, but I still enjoy it. I just like the experience of exploring. I was so lucky that all these use the same model. I didn't have to replace anything like 3 times. Getting this stick to work sucks. It has to be like towards the beginning of a Link's model. Otherwise, it just won't work sometimes. It's kind of annoying. So, yeah, so this is actually a super old building. It was actually originally going to be underground in a different part of the world, and then discussion happened, and now it's here. But yeah, it's like legacy stuff. Like that was made like how long ago was this built? At least like the building itself changed, but like this, like I would say this like iconic structure with that like circular window and like cone roof. That was there from like years ago, 2, 3 years, I would say 2 years ago. There's another question I want to Peter asked it. Hey Peter, you got a question for me for Dark Rival Fantasy? Let me answer your question, Peter. Peter asks, why are you and Lois always yelling at each other now? What is the hardest part about getting the mod to work with actual N64 hardware, and what are some design workarounds you use to save on details? So this one, I usually just build with the N64 in mind. That helps, and especially since I've been doing it for so long, I know how to do it so easily. But so even like this area lags a little more than I'd like to. But I wasn't gonna change a whole lot because I like to prioritize progress and work over I guess polish. Because I mean, there's not too many people working on this, so you kind of just have to cut your losses in some areas. Just move forward, which I think is better for these, because then it gets done and you learn. You still learn from it, which is what's important. But yeah, usually I just build within the limits. And sometimes I always trust the hardware more than anything. Like people will tell me, "Oh, it might lag there, it might do this." I'm like, let me test it on hardware. And if the hardware tests and it doesn't lag too much, there's no lag, and then I'm like, okay, I could do it. Even if I had a little bit more actors than what's already there, make some changes, it's fine then. So I usually just test it all on hardware. The hardware's the real judge, not what everyone thinks they need. Nightshade Manor. This place is, yeah, this is Legacy. What inspired this was, if you ever played Final Fantasy VIII, there's this theme. I think I'll just remember crap, whatever. There's this theme called Galbadia Garden, which really inspired this place. And Majora's Mask kind of inspired the interior. Crap was picked up. Fucking. It's hilarious. Yeah, Galbadia Garden. And what inspired this room actually was the original Resident Evil Spencer Mansion. Kind of inspired the layout a little bit. I'd actually like it to reflect that more. Like in the future, if I do change this, this is probably going to be much more like puzzle based. More like, I would say more puzzle based compared to like there would be less enemies. It'd be more puzzly. Just because I think it fit the mansion style more compared to the killing a bunch of shit. Oh yeah, I wanted to make these have text gen, but I couldn't get the text gen to look right, so it's just, yeah, you just get those textures. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about this painting right here. This painting is actually a, it's actually like the color palette of a existing area. It's gonna look kind of like that, so in terms of color. So that'll be interesting. I designed most of this dungeon, but Astriolava helped me out with a lot of the puzzles. Like I had some puzzle ideas there, but Astriolava came in and helped out a lot more, which he did a pretty good job, I would say. I did end up changing some because some of the playtesters were like, some of these puzzles are kind of frustrating or whatever. Or there was like a bug or something that needed to get fixed, or I felt like something wasn't really, you know. It did mostly to make the gameplay better, so. These guys were supposed to have their model changed, but for some reason, it did not want to change the model for me, ever. So it's just the basic one. But there is a model made to replace that, which will eventually happen. Majora's Mask textures. A lot of Majora's Mask textures in these here. That's another place in the game that I'm not going to say. People had so many crashes on this game. I don't know how they got them, because I fixed, like, I could have sworn I fixed all the crashes. At least all the ones, like, during gameplay. Crashes from, like, oh, I went to an exit. And that shit, I don't know about that. For the most part, I fixed a lot of these. These redeads we're supposed to have a new model. I just ended up recoloring them to save time. I kind of want to change the blue on this. Makes no sense. It looks, I don't know, it looks ugly now in retrospect. Not retrospective, whatever. But yeah, these rooms actually would serve a purpose if it was more puzzly based, which is how I wanted it. but I couldn't do them all. You need custom actors, which is actually more viable now, so that actually might be a thing. So there's some up there. Yeah, those rooms were intended to have purpose, but kind of sometimes with these ROM hacks, you just have to fucking what's the word? Compromise? Yeah, you just have to compromise. Because you can't do everything. As much as you would like to. Here's the strap for this. Pull it stick. You don't Z-target pose ever. That's how you kill him instantly. Let him do his thing. Watch this. Watch this. Let him do his thing. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, hit me, hit me. Boom. Crouch stab's so good. I'm not taking out crouch stab. Crouch stab because people like it. I like it. Let's see if we get another question. This one's from CDI Fails. What is outside this little corner of the world we see in the demo? Anything you care to hint at? Yes. Outside this world. Well, let's see. Not every area is going to be dark and depressing. Like, it's called Dark Hero Fantasy, but it's not going to be all dark, because I think that would get annoying. And also just would it hinder, like, creativity if everything was made dark. Plus, it would just... it would get annoying. It's like everywhere is dark and depressing. It's like you don't care about that anymore then. So it doesn't hit as hard. Nor do your light areas. Actually, they would hit harder if you have less of them, so... But there will be a jungle. In terms of biomes, there will be a jungle. There will be sort of like a tundra. What else would it be? It'll be like a nightmarish area. I think that'll be like one of the coolest areas. There's one area, I'm not going to spoil what it is exactly, but it's going to be really beautiful. I'm just going to say it's going to be really beautiful in terms of how it looks. Really beautiful and not spooky. Not scary at all. It's actually going to, I would say, it contrasts like that the rest of this fucking game so much. So, that one, I think y'all will like that one. That'll be a nice left field thing, because it's different. You'll see it. When you see it. There will be castles, though. Not just the one you see on the title screen, there will be other castles. Because I really like castles. I've made quite a bunch, so you'll see castles. Come on, any other dev questions? Let's see. There was so many like it was kind of funny. There was a lot of like problems with people trying to get this damn thing to work, which was so annoying. People keep messaging me, "How does the ROM work? How does the ROM work?" I didn't think it would happen so much. I think a lot of it is just people are not patching when it says like checksums don't match. Just patch it anyway, it'll work. But whatever. Kind of want to fix this part right here. This part looks like the basement rather than the upper floors, which the basement and the upper floors are supposed to have two distinct looks. At least pretty distinct. This is kind of like you're inside the thing that's sticking out. That's where you see the window. Hope it looks like a window. If it doesn't look like a window, at least it's a stone rock. It's a design. It's a symbol for that continuity. People like this. I always like this puzzle. I thought this puzzle was nice. I thought it was actually a pretty good puzzle. It's not like basic. It's like kill the enemies, collect those little rupees, hit the switch, light the torches. No, this one's burn something, but it's like think about it a little bit. So that little texture right there, I made that one. Painted that one myself. I was pretty proud of that. I mostly use a lot of textures from OT and M, just because I like how they look and it's just simpler, it saves time. This floor, I made this floor too. It was actually really, I did downscale the hell out of it, but I still think it looks really pretty. That was supposed to be like this, I guess. Part of like the theme of this is like it's not exactly dark. It's like pretty, but it's like it's just I don't know. It's like a really odd feeling, I guess. It's kind of like it's like where am I? I guess that's the feeling. It's a new world. It's a new Zelda game. It's not what everyone's used to. It's not what I thought would have been when I first started doing this 3 years ago. That's the crazy part. I've been working on this for like 3 fucking years. Oh yeah, this leads into this is a good transition. This is from a question from Electron Kaleidoscope. What's your source of drive for making this? Like, what made you commit to making a ROM hack, and why an OT ROM hack specifically? He says more of that, but I'll just say the rest. Recently, I was explaining the difficulties of OT modding to a friend, and they said, "Why not just make a game on Unity or something then? If it's so hard and risky." I was surprised. I didn't really have a clear answer to that, despite the appeal to OT modding. Feeling obvious to me, I can articulate. I'd love to hear your take. So yes, no, I've had this same old dilemma like you, where it's like, oh my god, making a Zelda hack. It's like I can making my own game, make money with it. Which this is passion work. This is hobby work. I do take it seriously, but I don't take it as seriously, as like professionally. And I've been working on this for 3 years. And I've changed in those 3 years. So that's like that's the big part to this. That's a big part to it, but like you change as a person as you develop these things. You don't realize that right away. You can be making your own game, and you might not even have your own idea for your own game originally. And that's where like OT, anything helps with that. It helps you learn the skills without having to pay a bunch of money to go to school. You don't even need to go to school I don't think you need to go to school for game design. I don't think maybe to learn how to like do the harder stuff, like maybe advanced modeling, but even that, I guess you can still learn on your own. Big source of passion is that there's not too many OT mods that do stuff like what this does and what like Third Quest does, where it's like it changes the world and the feel of the game. And like stuff like that is just like it's fun to just explore and run around the game. As long as it's not tedious. I hate tedium, so I try to make this as not tedious as possible. It's probably more easier than tedious, which I think some people would appreciate that more, instead of like, oh my god, I have to redo this puzzle over and over again. It's like, screw that. I don't even want to play this game anymore. I kind of had that with Impasse and Fate of the Fountain. I was just so frustrated. I'm like, screw it, turned on cheats. I just want to see what the rest of the game looks like. So, like, my patience for this for that shit is like worn down. Yeah, this is hobby work. It's fun to do. It's fun to see your work come to life. Like playing on the Archetype especially makes it look really good. Makes it feel legit. So there was a story paired with this. I think it's pretty reflective of, I guess, my own personal experiences. So that'll be kind of cool for everyone to see and just get them thinking, I guess. Hopefully, thinking. Yeah, that's what I like. People should think. There's supposed to be there's an enemy in here. It's actually in this demo. There was supposed to be more of them in here, but it kept freezing for me for some reason. I think it wouldn't freeze anymore, because I think I fixed the issue with that display list in general. But whatchamacallit. Yeah, there was supposed to be them in here, and they kept crashing. I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying. So I just had to take him out, which sucks, because I feel like it would have been a nice surprise with this dungeon to see those custom enemy models. I guess nostalgia is also a big part to why I work, why we work on these. The limitation's kind of fun too. Kind of fun. Until your stuff, none of your shit can work, or your maps keep crashing, and it's just frustrating. You don't need to go forward from here. You can actually just go back the way you came. That's just what I'm doing. I do have my own. I've been brainstorming ideas for my own horror game. So that kind of, I guess that kind of evolved from this. So, probably if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't have the mindset to think about making my own game. So I would give things to Zelda Mine with that. Yeah, it's hobby work, so to the person expecting a full release and next demo, whenever it's done, I'm not gonna rush or put my life on hold just to get this out. As much as y'all like it and it's fun doing, there's other stuff I like to do as well, and other priorities you gotta have. Like, the biggest thing with working on these hags is not dedicating your life to it, because that ruins your fucking life. Like, life is more than just making games or hacking or, one thing. Like, it's many things, so yeah, balancing your life is important. And your health. I had so many health issues back in the day. It's because I was modding all the time. Oh, okay, that happened. All these pots have hearts in them. They'll give you hearts. So if you have full hearts, they give you money. That's optional over there, so I'm not gonna go over there. I forgot to change the door texture. And you're all gonna laugh at me more because I forgot to change the boss. I forgot to do so much with this. Oh my god, there's light rays. You can see more if the door's missing. Yeah, no, I messed up with this. I forgot to freaking do the collision and a lot of stuff for this. People are complaining. I actually might just make these I should just make these withered Dekibabas instead of these big ones. Because these ones just take health away. And the biggest purpose of me adding these was just to give you Deku 6, so you can kill the boss faster. But it's like, I don't think everyone realized that. You can barely see the water, which is just kind of Morpha's issue, which is kind of annoying. Oh, I was gonna say, I think there's a weird issue with climbing up these vines. Yeah, I did not fix these. So mad at that. I think he'll just he stutters. You go through that too. That's kind of stupid. This boss room is actually supposed to look much different too. It's supposed to be more red and yellow. More like it was corrupted or decomposing in a way. The boss is supposed to be red. Everyone's like, oh, it should be green. And actually, it makes sense why they think that. But it's supposed to be red, and the boss room is supposed to look much different. This is supposed to be a big blood monster sucking the life out of the land above, which is why Candlelight Woods looks so dead. This actually still makes sense because if you think about it, it's like all the nutrients are going to here. So this is why this area is so full of life compared to the surface. Cheesing this guy. A nice side effect of just important Morphine is that he doesn't grab you, which does a shit ton of damage. Boom. Oh, she's gonna die now. Actually, I'm gonna keep this trick in here. Yeah, I'm keeping this trick in here because fighting Morphle with level 1 sword's kind of annoying. I didn't modify his damage. Like how much damage the Concurious sword does to him. If I change that, actually, I'm gonna make it so he dies faster, so you're not dragging. This fight's not dragging on. She'll see the deck. Oh. Okay, so I gave Navi bat wings. So I thought it looked cool. I actually wanted to make them look. They look. I hate how they look because they were supposed to be like they're flapping like an actual bat, but they just replaced the fairy wings in that weird way still. So they just. It's like it's bat wings, but it's not properly how I want it to be. And you're back out here. There's story to go along all with this, but I wanted to get this demo out so bad because I put so much effort into it. It was like, oh my god, like I don't want to work on it anymore. It was like a much needed break. You'll burn yourself out working on this shit for too long, so especially if you do it as a hobby. I don't think anyone. You could hookshot these. I kind of want to make the logic in maps like use what you already know to get around. Like this is not designed for new players in mind at all. Like you played OOT and MM if you're playing this. Like that's the intention at least. So like it might be easier or harder, but you use that logic of like how you played OOT and MM. You'll get through it just fine. I still think these look too bright, and I actually discovered this after making the demo, is that you can actually set normal map, you could set the normal settings in Sharp Ocarina, and it will just do it on the map already for you, so you don't have to freaking do it manually in like Blender or something. So you'll see in the future these will be less clashy, how they already are. I didn't know how to edit the grotto actor at the time, so I just kind of put that exit there. Come on. Peer around. Spire made this model. I thought it looked really good. So I just put it over the Goma Lyrics. I'm like, hey, it actually looks like it would work well over it. And I think it does. I think it looks kind of weird. It's like this weird fire looking thing. It's got this like clown face. I think the red bat wings make it look most intimidating. He just gives you the Decky so great, but I just made him look more ghoulish. It's kind of the idea I had with the Deckies. The ghoulish. What was it I was saying? Oh yeah, CDI made this music. He did a really good job for this song. The other songs were made by Dub. He's a German composer. Really good at what he does. I'm actually gonna go back into the mansion for a second. Shit. I'm gonna go back in there for a second. Really should make a shortcut for that hook shot to be used there too. Whatever. Get to run through this gauntlet again. Not the end. So, here, I'm gonna kill this guy so he's not distracting. But see how like the sky here? It's like this like dark magenta, this dark purple color. Then you go inside and it's like all blue. I don't think it makes sense necessarily. I really wanted to have it. I really just sometimes I just make aesthetics because I think they look really good. And the transition there isn't like 100% fluid, but I think I still think each area looks cool. And that like once you go into this blue fog area, it's like it's kind of a surprise too. It's like wow, I wasn't expecting blue fog. Oh yeah, the doors don't match, but that's okay. Gonna get it done for the demo. A lot of stuff I couldn't get done for the demo. I think that's alright, because it's a lot of work as it is. Can't kill the bad butter. Okay, we're gonna go to P4. Yep, look at the lighting's all messed up. So I'm gonna go in here, it's gonna take me above. Yeah, everyone had these issues with the exit. Okay, it didn't every time. But the exit table was just not wanting to work with me, so it was so annoying. This guy likes to float to the sky, it's kind of funny. Do you have any other questions? Sin Shadow asks, how? Lots of time and effort, lots of criticism, lots of just thinking, lots of just building stuff, lots of scrapping stuff, lots of just saying, screw it, I'm sick of doing it. So yeah, that's how this came about, and I had help with it. I did not do the music. I was looking at people to help me with that. I had 2 other people help me with modeling. I mean, I made most of the stuff in this demo you see. Made the majority, but I make all the scene files too, and getting it all in game and all that jazz. So, that's all me. Will the music play? Yes, okay, P4. I actually kind of just made that name up. I actually kind of was inspired by Morrowind as like Telfir and all these other weird names for these like towers. For their Telfani towers. Actually, this P4 is actually inspired by it. I think it is Telfir specifically because in Telfir there was a place called the Corporeum, which had this, which is this underground where the dead lived. It's actually why you can't use your sword here, but you can still kill shit with your items, which is, didn't intend, but I fixed it in time for the demo. I was actually gonna scrap this, but I just ended up leaving it in, so I'm like, screw it, whatever. It's not a big deal if it's left in. But yeah, this green and like the undead here was supposed to be like, you can't. There was supposed to be a cutscene where it's like, you can't kill us. Like, you can't kill the undead, like you're my guest here. And there's supposed to be a wizard in the tower. This is supposed to be important for the story, so that's what will happen when it's released. But Dub made this song too. Sounds really good. I do have a custom actor made where you can actually dye Link's tunic color, his tunic. It also changes the icon itself too, next to Noka. So that will be a thing too, because I know I always like changing tuning colors. I think it's fun. So I feel like other people like it too. Just backflip the bomb, whatever. Stupid rocks. Rocks are so weird. Alright, you gotta walk past these guys. Yeah, these guys will look different though in time. Actually, really motivated to make it. Yeah, but like what I generally work on for this, I work on a bunch of shit. Like I don't just do one thing. I get all the stuff in game, of course, test it, bug test it, and fix all that, which composes of what I'm basically just doing the work. But like, let's say you're importing the map, you're building a map, making a scene file. I create textures occasionally. I mostly edit them. I've created some NPC models, and I've created enemy models too. If you see on my YouTube channel, the Fire Knight, I created that thing. That took a while to make, but that was worth the effort. The Spire actually drew concept art for that a while back, and I decided, I'm like, I want to make this. I think it looks really cool, so I'm going to make it. This crashes the game, so I'm actually not going to do that. That will crash. Actually, I feel like some people it does not crash, some people it does, so I'm just not going to test it, because I still want to continue talking. Yeah, actually, I really want to redo this, because I think this little mini dungeon could be much better. It's kind of lame. Like, there's only like one puzzle. The rest is just like obstacles, I guess. Which I guess that's fair, but I feel like you can always incorporate obstacles into a puzzle rather than just having obstacles be a separate thing. Get the fuck out there. What are you doing? That's okay, huh? Wow. Someone actually showed a trick how you could skip doing all that. But you know, I'm actually really tempted to keep tricks inside this hack just because I think people like that stuff. People like breaking and abusing the game. It's fun in a way, so I think I'm just gonna keep that stuff. Yeah, someone had a trick, it was really good. Yeah, like a setup to it though. Let's see if I can do it. I'm all for tricks in these games, so it's like, why not just keep it in there like this? If someone's gonna enjoy it, just keep it in there, screw it. As long as it's not like game breaking. Or like, I guess, immersion breaking. I guess all tricks are like, you know, glitches and shit like that. Well, they're kind of immersion breaking, but something like the incorrect lighting's placed or something like that, I'd fix that. Okay, I can get that trick to work. Can I get a levitate code? Do I have a levitate code? You know, I'm gonna try this out. No, okay. Ha. I should go to the top then and commentate with that. So I'm actually gonna look up a cheat code really fast. Bear with me here. Just gonna get an L to levitate code. Where are you? There we go. L to. Cool, that's what we want. Because I want to show you all the top. I mean, I want to talk about it. Levitate. No. Oh, that's fine. I put it there. Not where it's supposed to. Tates. Cheat. Cancel. Add cheat. Javitate. Is that what it says? Levitate lowercase I. Alright, there we go. Actually, I want to talk about the vine shot design. I actually made it to accompany the same look of Nightshade Manor, so I felt like it looked nice. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of like a souvenir you got from Nightshade Manor because the basement's all blue and green. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. It's very color palette based. I love color palettes. I'm really keen on color palettes. Crazy about them. I would say I'm crazy about color palettes. I'm insane about them. If anyone's played the 3Q demo, you will know that's the Earthstone. If you check the menu after you kill Rebenak, that is based off the Earthstone. The other stuff is just like artifacts. It's like a wizard who's gonna be up here. Really inspired from like Telfir, the Telani Wizard Towers, because they had like artifacts up in their. They had artifact shelves, and the walls were all like a little mushroomy. It just looked really cool. These are like silver swords and daggers. Paper. Yeah, I would say Morrowind's been a huge inspiration for a lot of the stuff I made. A little more. We couldn't get them. I couldn't get the maps to work. I'm not gonna. Why is he jumping? Oh no, I'm hitting Al. That's why he's. That's why he's jumping. That's funny. That's an old creation. Like seriously, it is old. It's like years old. It's kind of funny. Okay, so I'm going to look over the questions and see if I can answer them any further. I think for the most part, answered them. I'll just wrap them up on them. Peter's question, the hardest part working about the N64, design workarounds. Basically, just make things simple as you like. Make it simple. Stick with simple instead of like round, and like make it more blocky than round. I mean, sometimes you have to make it rounded to make it believable, which you can do, you know, an octagon for that. But generally, stick more blocky look. Just make sure not everything's on full screen at once too. That's a big one. Because that's what will lag. Depends what's on screen is what will lag. Asio would make this map. Dortex Keller did. But he made this little grotto. It was really nice. Kind of like these grottos just be like places where you just kind of sit here and chill, listen to the music. So I really love the music, so I might have to make an area where it's longer that has this on, so people could listen to it as they play instead of just standing there. But this is also like, even like just having the movements not moving at all is still playing necessary. It's still playing. It's a psychological game design element instead of like a more like mechanical where you're moving, you're interacting with stuff. This is more like you're just the person's thinking, they're relaxing. Okay, CDI's question. Outside of this corner of the world, there's jungle. Ahead there's jungle. There's multiple castles. There's a really beautiful area. There's a tundra. There's a bunch of areas I don't want to spoil because I think they look really nice, and actually I think they'd be better that it's a surprise instead of me just telling you or showing you images. Because if we just show everything, it just kills that speculation, and I think speculation's a really nice part about these hacks, is like what's going to come next. Like that's what I love about Third Quest. So after they showed the 2017 showcase, I'm like, I was frantically looking at like old screenshots of their stuff and a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, what's it gonna look like? I was so excited for that. So that's really, I would say that's also another. Because tying to that, I want to go to the question, what motivates you? It's definitely like, it's like discovering the world as I make it. it's my discovery for it. I'm not playing it, I'm making it, which is it's a different discovery. I also just love how N64 Zelda looks. It's really, like, the colors really pop. Like, whichever's mask looks fucking beautiful, so. Yeah. That's why I hack it. It's a hobby, so. Let's see, next up question. What bosses were used? Worst case scenario, they're reskinned or recolored. Best, maybe there's some bosses. Best case scenario, there's custom bosses. Question, can we expect a full release? Second demo? Second demo, I'm definitely going to do multiple demos. I'm not just going to wait for a final release. I think that's a long ways to go, and not everyone's, wants to wait that long. I think it's annoying to wait that long, so I don't want to wait that long. So, yeah, no, there will be multiple demos. Full release, I don't know when that's going to happen. I would say for a second demo, to give you a time frame, when it's done. It depends if I focus on it, because I'm doing other stuff in life. I'm not just working on this, so that depends. I can't say I can really answer that question. How long is DHF going to be in terms of gameplay? That is around OOT. That sums it up better. Around OOT. Then Shadow how? Practice, criticism, lots of thinking, lots of just building things. Even you think it's not gonna fit, or you don't know what it's gonna be in the end, you just build it and you can see where it goes later. This stuff's not all it can only be used for this map. Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes you'll feel like, okay, this aesthetic, this prop is just, it needs to look like this, which is cool because it's it's a vision. But stuff could also be moved around, so you gotta have some flexibility with it. That is how Mr. Zen Shadow. I don't think any other questions. I think that sums it up for the most part. I think I talked about most of the stuff I wanted to talk about with this, too. I think another thing I want to talk about is just, so much work goes into this stuff. A lot of work does go into it, so... Oh, never mind. Just on a loose track of thinking. I think that sums it up. I think I talked about everything I wanted to, so... I could always do this again, too. I think people would like that. Alright, well that's it from me then. I hope you all enjoyed my commentary, my thoughts, and all that other jazz while talking about this. I hope you all enjoyed it too, so... Well, peace out, y'all.